In modern economy, many people look for side hustles or different career paths that will allow you to make ends meet. Everyone wants to become rich and to become successful as quick as possible, and due to accessibility, the trading became one of the most lucrative endeavors. You see payouts and P&L cards people post online, and it gives you FOMO. You feel like you're missing out, but the reality is very different from what you see online. In this video, I'll try to make it as clear as possible for you to understand, is it worth trying to pursue trading as a career based on math and my personal experience. Let's start with the part nobody wants to admit, and most people who trade simply have no edge, like none. They think that they have a strategy with positive EV, but in reality it's just randomness with confirmation bias. Only 5 to 10% of day traders stay profitable over 6 months. Over 5 years, less than 1%. And here's where it gets interesting. After 10,000 people, each one making random trades, coin flip like 50-50, and no edge, no strategy, some percentage ends up in profit just from variance. As you can see, I ran the simulation for you, and the stats after taking random trades suspiciously align with empirical data from brokers. 5%, as it was said before, remained profitable. And usually the online gurus you see online are exactly these 5%. They are outliers who were lucky enough during long enough period to convince you and themselves that they know something, and they start selling you a mentorship for $5,000. It's pure noise, it's not skill. These are survivors of a random process, and if you can't distinguish your performance from random, you got a big problem. So now let's talk about our beloved prop firms. The thing about prop firms that they have a disproportional payoff, meaning your wins are realized but losses are only the evil phase, which makes it easier to generate wealth. A tiny EV strategy will perform way better with prop firms in comparison to a live account, so prop firms actually increase your chances of success, but you should be aware that they won't last forever. And funny part is, according to topstep data, only 20.4% pass an evil and only 3.5% get a payout. And what is even more funnier, that it's even worse with trading a coin flip strategy. So I ran simulation with 50% chance of winning, basically 50% win rate, and one-to-one risk to reward in my prop firm simulator, which you can actually have an access to by the link in the description. It's absolutely free. So with $800 risk on 50k account and one-to-one risk to reward ratio, as you can see, we have a pass rate of 43.4%, which is significantly better than what we see from topstep data. I personally love prop firms, and you can scale super quick with them if you approach them correctly. Also, some allow algo trading, but that's a discussion for another video. One thing that actually pisses me off like crazy is the motivational posts in trading, like don't ever quit, you can't lose if you don't quit, one payout will cover everything. Don't you find it interesting that it looks exactly like memes about gambling motivation? Like, I'm sure you've seen memes where it tells like, don't quit gambling, and there is a man mining, and one is quit, one keeps mining for the diamonds. So when someone tells you just don't quit without ever discussing whether you have actually an edge, that's not motivation. That's very destructive mindset that will make you lose tons of time and money. And how do you actually expect to become consistently profitable if your strategy has no edge? Also, it's worth mentioning that markets change over time and your edge can actually decay. So let's say you're actually good, you have an edge, your strategy works, and you're making money, and then the regime changes, the war in Iran kicks off. I see so many people losing money nowadays, and I'm not gonna lie, it even got harder for me too. But I managed to adapt after 1 week. Trump markets are brutal, and that's the reality of trading. Markets will change, and when the regime shifts, your strategy stops working. And if you can't adapt fast, you're cooked. So the market does not wait for you to figure it out. This is one of the reasons even successful traders go through month-long drawdowns, because the world changes faster than your model. And now we get to the most unpopular topic, talent. Yeah, I know many people think that hard work beats talent, but the reality is that even though the hard work matters, nothing happens without it, yeah. But if you have absolutely no innate talent for pattern recognition, for working with probabilities, for making fast decisions under pressure, no amount will save you. No amount of grind will save you. It's like sports. You can train 16 hours a day, you can study every game and still will never even come close to the NBA, because there is a threshold of talent that requires to get there. And if you're below that, you simply don't get in. And trading is the same. It's just less obvious because the feedback loop is long and noisy. You win sometimes, you lose sometimes, so it's really difficult to determine, do you actually have it? Do you actually have what it takes to become a trader? So now let's cover the realistic time frame it might take for you to figure it out, for you to become a profitable trader. How long does it take to start getting consistent payouts? Realistically, if you start from zero knowledge, expect minimum maybe 1 or 2 years of serious hard work just to understand what has happened, because you will be fooled dozens of times by gurus, your emotions will skew you, and you won't be able simply to have an edge so quickly if you trade based off some retail strategies, which leads to even worse emotional output, and it just reinforces itself. So your emotions make you lose because you have no edge, and your emotions get even worse, and you perform actually worse than your already losing strategy. So you may develop even a gambling addiction eventually, and that's why so many people spend 10, 20 years trying to become profitable traders. Like, some never get there, and that's fine, but don't be that person. Recognize quickly that you do not have an edge, you're losing not because of emotions, and it's never too late to quit actually, or change your strategy, finally find an edge. Last thing, maybe the most important, and be prepared for it, be prepared for a screamer, get a job. Seriously, like, if you want to learn to trade, you need an income source. Like, not only trading, a job. Like, it can be even McDonald's, freelance, DoorDash, whatever. Because if your rent depends on whether you make money in the market this month, you're going to make really bad decisions due to extra pressure that you actually never needed. You'll trade from fear, not from logic, and also scaling these programs requires a lot of capital. You can have an edge, but if it takes decades for you to pass an evil and get a payout, you will actually never be able to make enough money to make a career from trading. You have to pass evils quick. That's statistically optimal way of trading prop firms, and you need some income for that. I also have a video, it's a previous one, about the topic. A job funds your trading. That's not shameful, that's smart, so don't be afraid of it. So now let's summarize everything we've said today. Can day trading be a career? Technically, yes, people do it, but the numbers are against you, heavily against you, and most of what you see online is simply survivorship bias and marketing of high-ticket mentorships. I wanna add that not all of the mentors are scammers, but it's very difficult to find a mentor that will lead you into the right direction. Also, it's worth mentioning that trading cannot be taught. I believe that the only thing that mentor can teach you is how to teach yourself trading. So simply tell you who to listen, where to look at, give you the right direction, the nudge, but they can't actually spoon feed you a strategy. If you're going into this, I recommend you to understand deeply how programs work, understand math behind non-stationarity, expected value, alpha decay, crowding risk, and market efficiency paradigm. Get a job, spend time studying probabilities, statistics, risk, stochastic calculus. Don't listen to motivational videos from people who make money selling courses, not from trading. It's possible to make money from trading, but it shouldn't be your last hope. All high-paying endeavors have low success rates, so do not get discouraged. And if after a year or two you see no results and have no edge, have the courage to admit it, and it's better for you to actually quit. That was basically it for this video. Like, subscribe, follow my channel. I will try hard to make a bit more informative videos in the future. And good luck on your journey. That's it.